my friends. I'm doing a flip through today of this antique book journal, which antique books would be turned into a journal, and it's called Education Series. It has on the front here. These words are the international on the sides. It says Philosophy of Education. So welcome to the flip through of this journal, and we'll look at it real quick here, which you've seen most of it if you saw the other two videos where we worked on it. We kept the original spine, which I think is really cool. There's two signatures. You see the beaded tassel here, wooden beads, a key. I have some gems on the key, and then there's an extra little dangle here that's made from a piece of a measuring tape and some little miniature buttons on that. Here's the view from the outside, the top and the side. Very, very eclectic, but it's also as much of school-related things as I could. I put in here. I added this also acetate flower on the back. This is acetate sticker also, which I received in Happy Mail. Thank you very much. They look beautiful on here, I think. And I have the tie closure right here, which I already took off, but it's going to be a muslin, just a muslin strip of torn fabric with a little dangle. It's a little paper dangle with vintage and non-vintage. This is just cut out, and this is a vintage ticket, little piece of fabric, and that's just a little pretty little dangle I wanted to hang, and when you tie it around, it looks real pretty hanging from the cover here. So let's get started with a flip through. I've got the matte paper on the inside, front, and back. This journal, by the way, is available in Vinted. They're saying that free shipping and free, like, no styling fee. So I wanted to try it because eBay takes such a big chunk out of my sales. So I'm trying it. Let me know if you buy it. Let me know how it went. Also, if you did want this journal and you wanted to pay for it off of any platform, just let me know and we'll work it out as far as, whatever, Venmo, PayPal, whatever. So I've got this belongs to, cardstock tag. I think we made this on video, or I might have made part of it on video and the rest off, but it's just on a piece of, this is cardstock that was on the front cover of a little booklet that I got, and I just picture it right here, but you can put it wherever you want, but I just paper clipped it there, and that's just some, this is not cardstock, actually. It feels like cardstock, but it was an end page in a book, and I just thought it was, vintage book too. So I just thought it was just a beautiful kind of almost worn looking black, but it's in very good shape. So I used it there, and then I used a piece there and on the second signature right here. So it's kind of the cover of the signatures. But here's a library pocket we made together with a tag, and I have little cluster of things here to decorate it. And in here I have a flashcard. This is a math flashcard, and this is a little time, like a game card from a time game. And this is a little, this is Tim Holtz paper doll, and the paper dolls I used in here, I used them because I thought they looked like, well, this one I think looks like a teacher, and I believe there's another one in here that I thought looked like a teacher, and then there's a little baby, it's kind of a little kid or a baby that looks like, going to daycare or kindergarten or preschool or something. So you'll see that in a minute too. But this is from an atlas here. And there's pages from, this is from a technical book where we added this strip onto it as, extra, kind of like Franken paper, but just, it also acts like a large tab all the way down. I like doing that. I think that's cool. And there's a scrapbook paper. All the scrapbook paper that's like inside the signatures is either coffee dyed or might be avocado dyed, something like that. So they're all dyed on the back where they used to be white. And then so here's a tab here, a whale tail tab. This is coffee dyed Astrobites paper. Lots of coffee dyed papers in here. I like to use those in my vintage journal. So this is ledger paper that's been coffee dyed. This is just coffee dyed, like copy paper. We glued this flap to this envelope down, and made a little flip out there. In here, let's see, I have 2 cards in here, and this one I thought was so perfect for this journal. It's a little, first of all, it's a cute little vintage card, and then it's a graduation gift for you, and it has the cap and gown, or cap and diploma there. Love the colors, and it's one of those that opens up like that. And then this one is also a little card, and it's kind of more generic. It says something for you, but it could have been, used as with a school gift. No one knows, right? So that's just a little flip out envelope that can be decorated. I actually burned it right there by mistake. But I thought, wow, that's some really natural looking patina there. So we added a little character there. Almost looks like I put some ink on it, but I actually burned it in the microwave when I tried to melt the glue to this flap was kind of glued shut, and I actually put it in the microwave. But if you do that, be careful, watch it, because you could start a fire. This is a little stamp from a vintage stamp collection book. This glassine kind of paper here. It was a page in there where you keep your stamps. So now it's a pocket in this journal. And I just put several of this little collection of flashcards I have. I put one of each color in here for you to enjoy. Do with as you wish. Decorate, make tuck spots, just whatever you want. There's 2 blank ones in here. This one and this one were also in with that flashcard set, where I guess you could make your own flashcards. So there we go. You can make your own flashcards with those. This is a little list sheet that I got in Happy Mail there, like a shopping list, and you check off what you need. This is the scrapbook paper. With this one, I think is avocado dyed. You can tell by the color. Little pocket back here. And this is a tag made from a children's book page image, and just a blank tag that you can decorate. A little journaling card here that's made from a children's dictionary, and it says grade right there. Kids going into their class, 1st grade, 2nd grade. And an old postcard. And this looks like an old church or something, but very cool. Looks like it's got some German on the back, possibly, or Dutch, something like that. So that is in there, all in that pocket. I had lots of things I wanted to put in here. Here's the middle of the signature. So I kind of put as much, maybe a little bit more than I usually do. Like I usually try to put like 3 things if they'll fit in the pocket. Like each one pretty much has 4 if it fits in here. So a pretty tag here. It looks like a sweater you'd wear to school, right? Argyle. This is an old receipt, just a fun piece, vintage, 1955. This is an actual original receipt that I've backed there to make it, sturdy, and did a little decorating on that. This is a little kind of miniature library card and a little tag, a little mini tag. That's made from a file folder. And so we're on the back half of this first signature. In this pocket we have this envelope is made from a yearbook, a vintage yearbook, and it's the advertisements from the back. It's sewn together on the sides, so that is in there. I think I had the flap sticking out like that. And then this is just a piece of this is Tim Holtz scrapbook paper, I think, and I just cut it out in the shape of a pocket. So you can use it for a pocket, cut it down, cut it up, whatever you want. And this is a little mini file folder made from a file folder, a big file folder, the manila folder. I thought it would be fun to make some small ones, and that's what that is. And it's so cute. So the rest of the papers we just saw in the front. So nice, and they're sometimes a little crinkly from the coffee dyeing. So that's cool. Here we have, this is the technical paper, and on this side we have an inside pocket. So it's right here, and here's the little guy. Here I thought maybe going to preschool, learning his alphabet. So we've got the alphabet here on this scrapbook paper. And then this is just a divider card. some fabric sewn on the side there that you can decorate and do what you wish. Write on it, whatever you want. Add a picture, a recipe here that I thought would be a good after-school snack, M&M cookies, and there's room to write on the back. And then the rest of these papers in this first signature. So here is another flip out envelope, and then inside under that we have a little opening of paper. This was a paper from an end page that we did this together, where this paper, you know, maybe some people would have thrown it away, but I just love the paper and the color, like the patina of it. It has just a little bit of something on it where you can see it's old, and then it had some writing on it. So we kind of glued down the writing that was on the back, so there might have been some writing on underneath here, and then there's a little bit of scribble right there that we covered up with this pretty little collage right here. And then we had added this envelope just as another little fun piece, coffee dyed envelope. And in here I have a little booklet that's a bird, so you know, it has a little bit of paper in here that you can write on, and also it's about birds. So I figured, you know, you have different textbooks that you learn about different subjects in school, so you could have been learning about the birds in school there. You could even use that as a little bird watcher's book. And then here is a beautiful bookmark that I received in Happy Mail. Tear Ink Glue Repeat, designed by my friend Maria. And then the second signature. So in here we have a little open up, flip out piece here that's made from scrap of paper. It's coffee dyed there on the inside. And then coffee dyed paper, the atlas paper. This is some beautiful paper I also received in Happy Mail, and I was saving it for this vintage journal. So there it is, and it's gorgeous. And then coffee dyed scrapbook paper. Here's the postage envelope in this signature. And here, this is an actual authentic library card from a book, never used, except for it has the, you know, author and title there. And then just an index card decorated with a little sewn together scrap strips there. These postage envelopes are sewn together on the bottom. So a little bit of sewing in this journal. This is a little page from a book. It says last day of school right there. It's a little poem. This is coffee dyed Astro Brights paper, the technical paper, and then scrapbook paper. In this pocket I have a bookmark. Here it says bookworm on this side, and just has some information about following this library online or whatever. So bookworm on that side. I thought that was so cute. I found those at a thrift store. And then the shoe and heart flashcard and bingo card. Just some fun things here. Game journaling card. These are cut aparts from scrapbook paper kits, and a little tag there. That's also made from that file folder, like I showed you earlier in the first signature, that little one. And then here, this is map scrapbook paper that I put in the center here. And then back half of this second signature, there's a pocket here. This is a little tag made from the cover of a scrapbook paper package. And then the crayon flashcard, orange crayon. A little tag here. And it has some vintage sheet topper there, and a name tag all in that pocket. And then here we have a flip out. This is the technical paper, and I added this on here, that strip. Let's see, and then the Astro Brights. And then on the back of this page we have, here's the other teacher. He looks like a history teacher there, or biology, on map paper. And this is map, no, that's actual map paper there. It has map on the front and back. That's why I was looking there. I couldn't remember what it was made from. But this is a little say journaling card I made from the cover of a puzzle that I have, that I put together. it's a puzzle from Dollar Tree, and it has a school bus on the front. I thought it was so cute. I made a couple of these out of the box. So you've got a school bus there. So of course that has to do with school, right? I love the yellow school bus, you know. And then this postage stamp envelope with a couple of map looking or globe related playing cards, and then just some little pieces you can have fun with. A little piece of a index card, just a little square here with scallops, and a little map, a little calendar, not a map, a little calendar piece, little calendar page. And there's a tab there on that scrap of paper. So yeah, we'll just flip through this back half real quick of the papers you've already seen. We did add these two little pockets together, remember, out of this book. It looks like a row of books or a shelf of books. We used those, it was a scrap, and we used it to make these little pockets. In here is a little drilling card. So that's from a children's dictionary. It says chicken on it. And chicks, a little text, vintage at least, book page, tag, and a little time game card there. And then in the top pocket we have just some little tags. Here, let's see if I can get them all out. That one has text on it, and just from a vintage, book page. And these are just some little, that's a little cat. This is a little miniature math flashcard, and another little punch out from a book, punched out tag. I didn't put, one of them has a hole in it, I think, but I didn't put toppers on because I thought, sometimes you just want to glue those down and make a little cluster. So I just left them flat so that they could be crafted with. And then if you want to add a little topper, you can. But here's the back cover of the signature and the inside of the cover there. And that is the journal. And then the things that are coming with it, like I had this done for a few days and just waiting to get to the flip through. And I added an extra little envelope here for you. One of the ones that I burnt. And this one was a little bit more, was this one more tattered? Yeah, I had a couple of tears right here. So that's why I didn't put it in a journal, but I thought somebody might really like to do something with that. So that is in there. And then you're going to get the original pages from the book. And this is quite heavy, I'm just saying. This will add to, if you don't want this, like say you get the journal and you're like, don't worry about, because people have told me that before, so I just wanted to mention it. They say they don't want, most people do want it, but once in a while I have someone that says, I don't want the book block or the pages that came in it. I don't need that. I'll never use it type of thing. So, and this, some of the older books, if you have experienced this, some of them are very light because they're made out of cheaper paper. This is very heavy. So I don't know. And this is an antique book. So yeah, I don't know why. They don't feel like quality pages. They don't feel, they're thick enough, but they're not, they don't feel extra thick, but I'm just saying this is going to add some weight to the package. I am including the little Haw Pass. This is the last one I have. This might be, or probably is going to be, the last school-related journal that I'm doing this year. So I want to go ahead and include this. So I have a little clip on it, and it can be clipped to the side or the front or whatever, but I am including that. And then here's the goodies in here. So what I have in this little package, this is a divider that I am using to house these goodies. But I took orange and blue vintage tickets for this journal from my ticket stash because of the colors. It's a different blue, but still it's blue and orange, the orange letters on the front there. And then I put in an extra piece of strip of fabric. So in case, you want to use that in or on the journal. And then some of my sewn together strips for you to decorate whatever. A little drawing card here. This is actually made from a cover of a little booklet where I must have used the rest of the booklet and I had the cover left. A little piece, little punch card here that, you know, teachers use in school, like for rewards, like, you know, do your chore for, what is it, 10 days, and you get a prize out of the treasure chest or something, type that thing. This is a coffee dye piece of paper made into a pocket. So you just glue this into a corner, and then it opens like this. Wait, it's glued down and it opens like this. So I just put that in there. I just had it in my stash, and it, you know, goes well. Like I said, the coffee dye things go well with a vintage journal. And then I have a doily here, vintage doily. Some laces, so I kind of thought about putting trims on the pages, but I didn't know. So, you know, sometimes I just do it, and then sometimes I'm just like, something holds me back. So instead of putting them on there, I put them on these little playing cards made into spools. And so you've got two different ones on each one. These are actually two different, very similar, but two different eyelet trims. You know, they're like little ruffles. And then this is like a beige, or, you know, it's a little darker. This is more of an ecru, and this is more of a beige. Little vintage trims there, two different ones. So this is more like a crochet, and this is more like maybe a knit or something. But anyway, some pretty vintage trims you can use if you want to in this journal, or maybe you want to use them in another journal that you have. And a little envelope here with a window, and in here several things. Let's see, little papers. You know, these were some little scraps I actually had here on my desk, and I thought, oh, these would be perfect to put in this little envelope, and, you know, then you can use them as you wish and make things. So I thought that was fun. This one I had to fold because it was too long, but yeah, so some fun little pretty scraps in there. You know, each one of my goodie packs is different. It's just whatever I have, you know, left from the project, left from the particular specific project, and left from the overall project type thing. So, and my membership Happy Mail, you know, Club Happy Mail packages were actually from this whole stash too, that I had how spread out over on my table there. So yeah, it was a fun month. I think I enjoy getting those together. But I've got 3 guest checks in here for you, and then another coffee dyed envelope. This one is really kind of neat feeling. I think when I made this one, I was experimenting, and I wadded it up and then spread it back out and coffee dyed it to see how it come out. So you kind of have a little wrinkled texture there, but really I like it, and it goes well with the vintage theme. Some other, you know, bigger scraps here that I had left, pretty scraps. And this is double-sided. This is, I think this looks like the avocado dye. This is coffee dyed. This is not dyed. This is actually map wallpaper. And then some teacher memo sheets here, a few of those. And then I'm trying to remember to put some book pages in the goodie packs. I think, you know, I've discovered that, you know, some of my people that have ordered from me really like the book pages, and I was like, I usually think of all the other stuff and I don't think of book pages. So I did put some book pages in here, and, you know, I have lots of book pages to use anyway, so it's a good idea for me to remember to do that. But these are from like a squirrel type book. These are chipmunks right here. So those are fun to use and decorate, cut out, fussy cut, use a whole page, whatever you want to do. And then this is some children's, from a vintage children's poem book. And then just some other, you know, random things that I thought, you know, would go well with this journal. So like here's, I think this is on speaking, you know, and then the little retro pictures here were so cute. And so that's what these pages are from. I think it's like a speech book, or, you know, how to talk to people, things like that. And then this is, I think, was it science experiments right here. So that's what this is from. And this also has some cute like diagrams, little pictures. You know, you can tell they're vintage, so cute. This is from that book too. A little chart down here that could be cut out. Really cute pictures. Look at this old-fashioned dishwasher here. That's crazy, like a commercial dishwasher. That's so cool looking though, isn't it? Maybe that was in a school cafeteria or a restaurant, but it looks like a school cafeteria to me. Anyway, more experiment type stuff. And this is from an encyclopedia or a dictionary. I guess it's more of a dictionary, but really cool, the dictionary format and the little pictures and colors on that. And then this is from what might be an educational book about fish. So there you go. Lots of goodies. So I hope you enjoyed the making progress and the finished of, flip through of this journal, and that, if you're interested, like I said, let me know one way or the other if you are interested and you want to purchase it off of Vinted, which I really would like someone to purchase one on Vinted just to try it out and see how it works. But say you're just like, I don't want another app, I don't want to download another app on my phone, let me know, and I'll work with you on Venmo or all the ones I named at the beginning. I have all those already, so I can do whatever. I think I have. I don't have everyone, but I have the ones I mentioned. I know there's more, but like I'm saying, we don't want every app in the world on our phone, right? At least I don't. So thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.